Yo, what is going on, everybody? It is D-Man coming back at it again with another YouTube video, and today we're going to be talking about the Tennessee Titans and who you are most excited about seeing on the field next season. And I'll go ahead and let you guys know, for me, it's got to be Kristian Fulton. And a close second behind him is Imani Hooker. A couple of defensive backs that, Imani Hooker had a fantastic year for the amount of the amount of snaps he had last season. Obviously backing up both Kenny Vaccaro and Kevin Byard, but he led the team in interceptions last season. Him and Malcolm Butler, I believe, both had 4. Malcolm had 1 in the playoff game against Baltimore. But hey, Imani Hooker still led the team pretty much in interceptions last season. So that's why I'm kind of excited about him. But we'll talk about him in a second. I want to talk about Kristian Fulton and why I'm very excited about him. We saw him play in a few games last season, not a lot, obviously, with the injury there early on last season. Kind of took him out of the mix early last season. But we have seen a lot of footage of him at Titans minicamp, and he looks really good. I mean, he looks really, really good, and that's why I'm kind of, this is why he's high up on the list, because he's going to have some big shoes to fill. And we'll talk about someone else who has some big shoes to fill as well, just because he has an important part on this team, because he's going to be playing a very important role in the team. He's going to be playing a lot of snaps because our cornerbacks are very young and they've got a lot of pressure on them to do well. But I do think they'll do okay, just because the pass rush will be back to what it needs to be to contend for a Super Bowl. So there's not going to be as much of pressure as there was last year, where they had to literally play defense for like 10 seconds before, it was ridiculous last year. So now we have pass rush, so I think we'll be A-okay there. But I'm very excited to see how Kristian Fulton plays, because I've been seeing a lot of good things being said about him. I've seen a lot of good, like I said, at minicamp, I've seen a lot of good things there. Like I said, I also heard a lot of good things as well. So I'm very excited to see how he plays. And like I said, but right behind him here for the Tennessee Titans, obviously he's got a big role to fill as well. He's going to be starting, take place of Kenny Vaccaro. We saw a lot of good things about him. I've already talked about him earlier in this video, but he looked really well last year, and he was probably one of my favorite Titans on the field last season when he was out there, because he is a ball hawk. He's like a Kevin Byard 2.0. And he's not afraid to come up there and play the run stop, be a run stopper too. So very excited, very, very, very excited to see how he plays in his new role on the team. And I think he can contribute, as much as he did last year when he had, opportunities to. And like I said, he's going to be a starter. So I'm very excited about that. And yeah, I think he deserves to be a starter. I think he is a very, very young, talented defensive back in the league, one of the top, young talents that we have in the league, defensive back wise. So can't wait to see him play. I kind of mentioned, talked about him earlier, so I didn't have much to talk about here. But yeah, very excited about Imani Hooker. Next up, we have good old Caleb Farley. Again, another defensive back, guys. I know but these are important positions that you have to have to be successful as a team in the NFL. So Caleb Farley has to come in and give us something immediately, because we've seen a lot in him. Obviously, he could turn out to be a bust, or he could turn out, obviously due to his injuries, not because he's a bad player or anything like that, but due to his, back situation, and that, that's a risk we obviously were willing to take, and I think it was a good risk to take, because I think this dude is an absolute stud. We've seen that at Virginia Tech. If you watched any type of film on this dude, he's just a playmaker. He can make plays for you, and arguably one of the best defensive backs in the draft. The reason he fell, obviously, is because of his, back surgery and all that stuff. But we won't get into that because obviously there's a reason why we went ahead and picked him. Is we're pretty confident. If we were if we were very worried about his back, we wouldn't have picked him. So I'm pretty sure we've got guys there that can let J-Rob know that, hey, he's good to go. He'll be good to go. So I'm not worried as much about that as maybe some of you guys are worried about that, just because we wouldn't have made the risk to pick this guy if we were worried enough about his back. I'm ecstatic that we got this guy. Super happy that he fell to us. Obviously, like I said, the reason he fell is because of his injury, history. But yeah, other than that, like I said, it's kind of the same thing about Christian Fulton. He's got to come in and produce immediately. Them and also Jackrabbit. I guess I could throw Jackrabbit on this list too, but I think we've seen enough about how Jackrabbit plays. He's a great player, so that's why I'm kind of leaning toward guys that we haven't seen play as much, but know what they can do. And I think these guys that I'm mentioning here can definitely have either a breakout season or a great rookie year, as we're talking about the rookie Caleb Farley. So Julio Jones, you gotta include him, guys. You have to. Julio Jones, not because I don't know what's to be expected about him, just because it's really just because I can't wait to see him in the two-tone blue on a Sunday afternoon, catching touchdown passes from Ryan Tannehill. That's about it. It's just still to this day. I know it's been a few weeks since the trade went through, but man, it still gives me gosh, it's just the hairs on my arms stand up. We got Julio Jones, dude. It's just still kind of mind-blowing to me. Growing up, he's one of my favorite players. I think a lot of people can say that because Julio Jones definitely is one of those guys that, is a very, very influential player that kids want to grow up to be. And one of those kids was A.J. Brown, and now A.J. Brown gets to play, amongst his idol in Julio Jones. So I really have him on this list just because I just cannot wait to see him play in the two-tone blue next season, alongside the King and A.J. Brown and also Ryan Tannehill. So yeah, I looking forward to next year. Definitely capable of winning a Super Bowl. The big question is obviously it's on the defensive side of the ball. Obviously, we've got so many playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I'm not worried about that. We'll put up 35, 40 points a game if we have to, but the defense, like I've said before, all they have to do is be in the top half of the league defensively. If they can get top 16 or higher, we've got a very good chance to go and make a run and maybe bring a Super Bowl home to Nashville. So, like I said, offensively, I'm not worried about anything. We're going to have the same, if everything goes well, if, no injuries happen, stuff like that, which, that's always a situation that could possibly happen. But if everything goes as planned and everybody stays healthy and the defense can play like they are capable of playing, with the addition of Bud Dupree, Janoris Jenkins, Danico Autry, also having Jeffrey Simmons, Harold Landry, coming back from last year, both of those guys I think will have somewhat breakout years because they're going to have guys around them that can produce as much. The Bud Dupree, Danico Autry, that's going to just make the defense all around better because you've got pass rush there, right? So either we're going to get sacks or incompletions or interceptions from the pass rush. Last year we didn't have a pass rush, so the defensive backs didn't really have a great year. You saw Kevin Byard, he played worse last year just because we had no pass rush. The season he had, top of the league in interceptions was when we had a great pass rush. So if we can just have a pass rush, just a pass rush, doesn't have to be a phenomenal pass rush, just to where we can make the quarterback get the ball out quicker. I mean, we can't let the quarterback sit back in the pocket and slice and dice our defense, because if that's the case, then it's going to end up like last year, having a fantastic offense and a defense that can't guard anything. So yeah, that's pretty much going to do it. I kind of went on a little rant there at the end, but hey, it is what it is. Kind of showing you guys my fan perspective of things. But let me know down below. This video was kind of for you guys, and I do apologize about this going out so late, but this is a video kind of for you guys to let me know who you are most excited about. And I kind of gave you a couple options that, I'm more excited or most excited for. But like I said, let me know down below who you are most excited for. And with that being said, that's going to do it for the video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. And until next time, I'll see y'all.